Everyone, Alex Terrace here, back with another portable sauna review. This one is called the Synergy Sauna. It's from one of the most successful health companies in the industry, one of the fastest growing companies as well, known as Synergy Science, based in Utah. A company that's been putting out really high quality products, started with the hydrogen machines for your water, as you can see right up here. And they have actually some of the most well-proven EMF devices as well out of Germany. You can look up the actual studies. And they did also make one of the cleanest portable infrared saunas. So when you deal with these tent style saunas, I'm generally not a fan of them because they usually are all toxic or they have a lot of EMF or something like that. They're just cheaply made. I mean, yeah, they're difficult to work with, hard to clean or impossible. Anyways, so this one is my favorite for $9.99 out of the other two ones that I've reviewed on this website. This is the lowest cost one. And you will find some other, portable sauna tent styles out there for, 800, 700, 600, 500. But they, again, come with a lot of high EMF. They come with material that is not that heat resistant. That can actually, when it heats up as well, it can release some off gas and toxins. And most of the other ones are heavier or difficult to take the cover off of and or impossible to wash. So let me kind of break down what makes this one unique. This one gets to 140 degrees, by the way, which is standard, for just infrared saunas across the board. I did talk about with the other couple saunas that you can get pretty hot. The other style of tent, which is the relaxed sauna, again, also gets to around the same temperature. It's just slightly different infrared wavelength distribution on that one. This one is using carbon emitters inside of it. Let's see if we can get a picture. Anyways, it's hanging carbon emitters on the inside. They're not going to show me on this picture, but that's okay. So that is pretty standard when you're dealing with infrared tent style. Look at how you can pack that up, by the way, and you can collapse and carry it with you. It's very easy to store. It's probably, one of the most well planned out if you're planning on moving the sauna around a lot or packing it up. Relaxed sauna is honestly fairly easy as well. This one's just slightly more thought out in terms of how you can carry it. So it is pretty convenient. But anyways, let me back up here. So yeah, on the inside of the different walls here, you do get carbon heaters, okay, carbon emitters. And those are low EMF. You're getting about the lowest you possibly can from carbon emitters in a portable sauna. And they really was designed to be pretty much zero EMF that actually reaches your body if you actually measure with the emitter where you are, the meter. So in terms of tent style, this one and the Relax are about the lowest in terms of electrosmog and EMF, nothing to worry about at all, even if you're electrosensitive. The one area that was a little higher on the previous version of the Synergy Sauna was the power generator. So the area, the transformer, I should say, where the main amount of power is coming in from the outlet in the wall. That was higher, around 20 milligauss, still plenty far away from the body. The new production now actually has that greatly reduced, significantly, even more so. Not like they even had to, but this company goes above and beyond anyways. And they just did it because they could, and that's the type of decisions that they make. So they did improve it on that piece. They did lower that transformer. And I think the transformer, if you see where my mouse is here, I think is on the, I think it's on the left corner right here, possibly on the floor, very far away from you. And they did just significantly reduce that. So anyways, and then the other thing that I want to point out here that is unique, not all saunas have little places where you can stick your arms out. Some do, but yeah, this one has that, has a little controller. One nice feature is this little piece right here around the neck, the zip off. Not all portable tents have that. It's like a highly absorbent fabric, which you can zip on, which encases around your neck to hold the heat in. And it comes with 3 of those, so you can always keep one fresh and clean and wash it. And that is a nice feature, which actually other portables don't always have. So I like that function there. The other thing is that it has a bamboo cover. It's a hypoallergenic, antibacterial, renewable bamboo sort of fabric, and that is the only tent style in the industry that uses that. Remember, Relax Sauna, that one they use, since it's more based on reflection of the way that the infrared generator inside works. That's just a completely different material. It is a non-toxic material, but remember the inside has silver that's woven into the fabric. It's kind of a different design. But anyways, so this one is super clean material, bamboo. And again, you can take it down and wash it very easily as well, which is nice. I like that. It actually doesn't develop much of an odor inside because there is actually a ozone generator. It's basically an ionic based ozone generator. And so it is also releasing a huge amount of negative ions, which have a lot of benefits, especially when they can absorb through the pores on the body, when you don't have any clothes and you're sweating and your pores are open. The other main reason, again, is because what you will find is if there's not, is that some of these portable tents can actually, if you get a lot of usage and don't really get cleaned regularly, can actually have a smell and odor and or bacteria that builds up. So it's nice to at least run that generator, if not while you're in it using it, but at least afterwards for like 15 minutes. And that actually makes a tremendous difference. It will clean and disinfect the inside of that, so you don't necessarily have to clean it per se. So that's really great. And in the case of Relax Sauna, you know, there's two things. One is the reflection of the internal material makes it pretty hard for bacteria, pathogens, all that kind of stuff to actually grow because there's so many infrared rays bouncing around. And also silver in the fabric of a Relax is antimicrobial, antibacterial. It's very, very powerful. So nothing's going to grow on the inside of that or build up. So these two portables, these two brands are two of the best on the market when it comes to staying clean and would be appropriate and suitable for high volume usage, a big family or a commercial location. Therapeutic temperature range, they're just talking about the standard going to, 140. If you remember, I was talking about also in one of my reviews here on the website, the laydown One Love Sauna Dome. So that one does get to 194. It can be a little bit intense to go that high unless somebody's doing a hyperthermia protocol. Generally, it's a little bit much in the body. However, you can also use it on a very high temp sauna per se, if you're just going to go in for a shorter space of time. If you go in for like, 30, 40 an hour on that high temp, that's a bit much for the body if unless you're trying to like do a hyperthermia protocol for a disease. And that's being supervised by some sort of health professional or something like that. And I would also just like to mention, because it's hardly mentioned anywhere in infrared sauna information on the internet, is that you can actually sweat out different kinds of toxins depending on how long you're in there and the temperature of that sauna. So usually you can get to deeper and deeper, harder to remove toxins if you're actually at a not the super hottest temp, but a little bit lower, and if you're in there for longer periods. And if you want more guidance on that, depending on your health goals, you can just do a live chat with me here on the website, send a message, give me a call, whatever. And we can kind of chat about that depending on what your goals are. And I have specific protocols set up. What else can we talk about? Yeah, negative ions, we already talked about that. Full spectrum infrared sauna. So generally, pretty much any carbon emitter panel, especially just like better generation, carbon ink, something like that. Those will put out a very, very nearly identical infrared wavelength distribution curve. And I can even actually look that up for you right here. Carbon emitter, just so you know what I'm talking about. Infrared wavelength. So when people like different companies and sauna companies, they talk about like, hey, like we've got such a unique carbon emitter in terms of the infrared rays that it puts out. Here we go. I'm trying to think. I have too many options on here. Well, that's okay. It's basically going to look something like this. Do you see this little up and down here? Okay. So in this case, they're actually looking at more of a ceramic emitter, but this is called a wavelength distribution curve. When you look at actually a carbon emitter, you see where the peak of that amplitude of that wave is right there. Generally, that's shifted over a little bit, and usually the peak of that wavelength is further more over here in this direction around the medium to long wave. So generally carbon emitters have more of a distribution with the peak of it being around this range in here, okay? It's a wavelength distribution or a spectroscopy report. If you look at all the different carbon emitters out there, they're almost identical when you look at those reports, okay? So just straight off the bat, somebody's like claiming like, you know, we get a better wavelength with our carbon. That's generally not true at all. They're almost identical. There is differences though with the emissivity, and that is a term that I will put here in the description. You can look up, but there is some difference in the efficiency of what's being produced. There is definitely better carbons and not as good carbons out there in terms of also how hot or how intense or how efficiently they take the electricity and turn it into infrared. So there are better grades of carbons and they're worse. So as far as the spectrum though goes, they're nearly identical. And it's actually a really nice spectrum. It's pretty wide, but they generally hover a little bit more in the upper mid and then all the way into the long, okay? So the chair, this is actually a good point, believe it or not. They do use actually a very good quality fabric material on the chair. I've personally tested and used actually way back when years ago, just a lot of these like cheap chairs that come with these different saunas. And I've also followed up with a lot of customers and they do tend to fall apart. At some point, you'll be buying a new chair if you get like a cheaper portable tent sauna. But yeah, their chair on this is actually really high quality. Anything else about this one? Yep, I mean, it's just a really high quality, the frame on it as well. That's another thing that we look at, and the frame is actually very sturdy. Some of these other ones out there will actually warp and bend. They're just literally that cheap. But you will not find that with this frame or the frame on the Relax sauna. So yeah, I mean, it's a great sauna. They do allow you to break the payments up too, which is quite nice and unusual. They have a solid warranty on it, but yeah, you can break up the payments on this by using my link and just ordering through that link. And also the other brands too, I can personally provide broken up into 6 months of payments if you're approved, which is great. If you just don't want to spend a whole lot of money all at once, if you're on a tight budget. Because I would encourage you, if you're thinking about doing infrared sauna therapy, you know, the sooner you start doing it, the more you'll get benefits. And it has a cumulative effect. Of course, when you purchase with me, I do also offer some coaching and protocols on to get the best benefits depending on your health goals for this type of product or just in general. And I would encourage you, if you do end up getting this sauna, you know, just poke around and just check out some of their other products that they have here. I would at least go over here to Echo Water Machines, okay? And if you're not familiar with the benefits of hydrogen-rich water, there's now probably 1,500 studies, all extremely impressive. It helps with literally just about anything, incredibly so. So you can basically, if you are already drinking more water, which you should be hydrating when you're doing more sauna therapy, you definitely want high quality water. This company sells actually some of the best water machines in the world and really has probably done the most for the industry, especially with hydrogen water and education. But this one, if you're looking for the lowest price way to get all the benefits of hydrogen, you don't necessarily need anything super fancy. This one does a great job. This is actually the best portable cup on the market. There's 20 other brands. All of them are actually scams, believe it or not. So if you ask these other companies out there how they're doing their tests, that's how you find out. They're usually running their tests with either a blue reagent, which is not necessarily good enough for this type of style of technology. They should be using gas chromatography, and they also do not, they usually do their tests while the machine is running. So that's how they fool people. You actually should be able to dissolve hydrogen and have it in there for minutes and hours and many, many hours if it's actually working right. I'm not going to get too far into it, but anyways, cheap device, $150. You can use this for many, 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 many years. Take it with you. It's just unbelievable. It's a side tangent off saunas. I understand that. But seriously, if you're going to start to sweat a lot and do a lot of sauna therapy where toxins are moving out of your body, you really kind of want to protect your cells from that process. And you really want to work hard on hydration and also work on inflammation as well. And hydrogen just does so much. It maybe is one of the better complements to doing a lot of sauna therapy. And usually 3 to 4 days a week is ideal. And that should be considered a lot of sauna therapy. So your body will need a lot more support to do that kind of protocol. So anyways, happy to chat and educate you about all of this. If you have any questions, again, you can reach out anytime, 24/7. Thanks for watching.